Hi friends, it's Timon. We're back with another Blaha video, and this one is a good one to do a reaction to. I'm telling you, this one is funny, man. All right, we're gonna react to the gym lifting recruiting fitness gear slaves video. Blaha says in this video, Blaha says being weak and under muscled is more dangerous than squats or deadlifts. Oh my God, being weak. Ooh.
Being weak is more dangerous than squats or deadlifts will ever be if performed reasonably correctly. Hey everybody, it's JasonBlaha here with JasonBlaha.
Nobody is weak out there. Everybody is equally strong on this planet. I don't know what that means. Weak? Can you sit on the toilet seat? Can you pick up your chair? Can you open a car door? Then if you can do those things, then you definitely are not weak. Now, I know what Blaha is trying to say. He's trying to equate lifting, being a lifting slave, weakness there. I don't know. Blaha cannot skateboard, or I don't know. He can't do certain things like, I don't know, skateboarding or whatever. Does that mean he's weak? So should I call Blaha as being weak because he didn't practice at doing skateboarding? He's weak at doing it. You know what I mean? Whatever, man.
Strength and fitness, and today I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today. But
okay, you're throwing this medicine ball behind your back. You're throwing it. You consistently throw that. Okay, what does that make you better at doing? It makes you better at throwing that ball behind your neck. That's what it does. You're practicing at throwing that ball behind your neck. That isn't basketball. You think this is a carryover to basketball? You think he's going to be good by throwing this ball over his shoulder? It's going to make him good at throwing basketballs and hoops? No. If you want to be good at basketball, then you need to practice at basketball, getting that ball in that hoop. Get it? This is not going to help you with that. So I don't know what the hell he's doing here. This will just make you better at doing this ball, throwing a ball over your shoulder.
quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below and drop me a comment. I would appreciate it so much. Let's get over into this topic.
I just think he's so bored that he's just so boring at this point. He's run out of material. People just don't want to watch him. They don't care what he does anymore. It's the same stuff over and over every single day, repetitively over. Other than his videos that he makes a bunch of stuff about. He just talks about a bunch of nonsense in his videos because he has nothing else to do. There would be nothing. What would he do? Keep uploading these videos of him exercising in his garage? Because people were watching, remember? They said they wanted to listen to him talk because he saw the numbers go up the moment he talked. So what did he do? He connected his workout videos with him talking. That's what he started doing now because he realized people weren't watching, remember? They weren't watching him exercise.
As you guys know, I'm one of these guys who I roll my eyes over and over and over. I make countless posts on Facebook, social media, about squats and deadlifts being
He's my slave. He's my slave because I make reaction videos to his exercise slave videos. Get it? Yeah, he's my slave. I made him my slave. See, he might have struck my original channel, but he's become my slave, bro. Get it? Yeah. He makes the content, and I just react to it, dude.
If you just learn basic form, set your goofy ego aside. And, you know, the only arguments I get back from people are, well, I've hurt myself. And it's like, you're just telling me you had bad form and bad fatigue management. Or guys say, well, you know, people can't set aside their ego lifting.
They hurt themselves because they're weak. They're physically weak. You understand me? Physically. To lift such heavy weight. They can't manage it because you're not built to lift all that weight. Yeah, you have to start adapting to it. But how your body adapts to something is relative. Now, muscles are post-mitotic, so they're not going to split, divide, increase in number, and make you strong. Get it? Lifting weight is not going to build you muscle, so you could be strong at lifting weights. Get it? But you will get a motor unit. But guess what? That has nothing to do with physical, structural physical strength. That's why you're getting injured, because you have a weak, skinny little body, a skinny little weak body.
And I mean, here would be my response.
All right. What's your response?
I've told you guys that, and for some reason you can't stop ego lifting, then I just don't have any sympathy. Like, this is not a reason. You know, the equivalent of this would be I explained to you the value of having electricity in your house, and someone says, yeah, but I can't quit putting a penny in the light socket and I'm going to get electrocuted. Well, I don't have any sympathy for you. It's pretty straightforward, and I tell you, well, quit doing that.
Quit doing that.
Is your current...
You will quit doing that.
Yeah, I have no sympathy for you either. If you're deteriorating yourself faster than you're regenerating and destroying yourself, lifting these weights, then I have no sympathy for you. I don't care if you keep going to the gym and deteriorating yourself like the penny in the socket.
And you say, well, I can't. Well, then, just get electrocuted and let the rest of us who have basic common sense.
Yeah, just get deteriorated and let the rest of us who have common sense that lift regenerate ourselves instead of deteriorating ourselves like Blaha.
Continue to do the correct thing. That would be my response. People don't like that.
I'm doing the correct thing.
But that's how I am with it. I don't have any sympathy for willful stupidity. I just don't.
Exactly.
Like everyone would.
Exactly. I have no sympathy for stupidity. When I watch Blaha, that's what I see.
Common sense knows stop ego lifting. Use good form. Squats and
common sense tells you that muscles are post-mitotic. They don't split, divide, increase in number just because you're moving a weight around. So they don't grow like that. See, they don't grow like that. The satellite cell can split, divide, increase in number. But it only ever comes out in muscle damage. And Blaha is going to state in his videos that muscle damage doesn't build muscle. It's not part of the muscle building thing. But it is. But he's going to tell you it's not. So then what is? How do muscles build, Blaha? He never tells you. It's sarcoplasmic. You get sarcoplasmic is not controlled by anything. That's just glycogen. Eating something artificial, which is not part of your diet, called carbohydrates. That's not part of a carnivore's diet, carbohydrates. A carnivore animal, like a human, which is a carnivore animal. That is artificial then. So you're eating something outside artificial, you're consuming it, and then it's loading in your muscle. That's where it's going to go.
Lifts are perfectly safe. Like right here, like in this video, you guys are going to see me doing with good form. Again, I'm 48, I'm almost 49. I'm doing sets of 6 here with 405 on the back.
He's doing 406, okay, 406 or whatever, 405 or whatever. He's doing it with good form. Yeah, it's just partial squats, good form. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Squat, doing sets of 6 with 500 on a deadlift.
Partial squat. He's not going all the way down. He's bending his. Look at the way he's bent forward. You don't notice how he's bent forward. Look. So if you do an eccentric squat, you're not bending forward because you're going down parallel, because you're hitting the bottom part of your heels with your ass. You're trying to get the eccentric, and then you go back up again. That's the whole point. You don't have to lift heavy in eccentric squats, get it? You just have to lift heavy enough so you can get damage, and then protein synthesis exceeds that breakdown, and when your legs get bigger, they get stronger. Because everything gets damaged. The ligaments, the tendons, the muscles, and the bones get micro damaged. And they come back bigger and stronger, providing protein synthesis has outpaced protein breakdown.
These are normal working sets for me. I'm not hurt. And this would be my response to people. And they'll say, well, what about powerlifters who get injured? It's like, do you not think some of the supportive equipment's a problem? Don't even get me started on that. I honestly think all the wraps and sleeves and a lot of the nonsense that people put on, I'm of the opinion that this is actually a massive factor in the injury rate along with the drug abuse. Okay, so lose all the goofy equipment.
The drug abuse. Look at the trend twist. How do they build their muscles? Eating donuts all day. You think donuts build myofibrillar growth? Yeah, man.
Lose all the wraps.
Like Blaha eats tofu all day.
Right. Shouldn't be anything on your elbows or knees unless you need it for competition, in which case, you're risking injury to push more numbers. All right, now that being said, back over to the point, but being weak is dangerous. Okay, look at the data that we have.
Being weak is dangerous. Yeah, being physically weak, lifting a heavy weight, putting a heavy weight on a weak body can be physically dangerous. Yes, it could be dangerous.
Sarcopenia. almost all the problems that people are going to have once the heart disease and everything is accounted for, and cancers and stuff, think about how sarcopenia and osteoporosis are killers. Once you get older, this is what's going to
Wow, he looks like he's suffering from sarcopenia. That's why he takes steroids.
kill you. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what's going to kill you. Osteoporosis or sarcopenia, loss of muscle, loss of bone density. Well,
See, guys, loss of muscle, loss of bone density, it's going to kill you. Well, you're not going to lose the muscle fibers, but they can shrink. The contractile proteins that are within the muscle fibers can shrink. So you're losing contractile proteins. So that will make you weaker. You understand me? That'll make you weaker because that goes with motor units. The motor units don't have anywhere to proliferate. So it'll kind of make you weaker because they go together. Motor unit and these myofibrillars, they go together. So yeah, that's sarcopenia, you shrinking. Your bone is shrinking and your muscle's shrinking. But the muscle itself, the fiber count is still there, right? The bone is still there and everything. You're just shrinking, really, basically, yeah.
well, think about what exercises are going to preserve that the best. If you were to look at it and be objective, which exercises are going to reduce osteoporosis? I don't want you to guess. I want you to look at it and give an objective, data-driven answer.
I don't know, you tell me.
Heavy squats and heavy deadlifts will reverse and prevent osteoporosis and increase.
So heavy squats and heavy what? Deadlifts and stuff will reverse osteoporosis, all these things? No, it won't. If protein synthesis does not exceed protein breakdown, it'll make it worse because you're going to start breaking down more proteins than you're building up. Oh yeah.
Bone density more than anything else you can pretty much come up with.
That's an absolute lie. He's lying to you.
Some variation. People say, well, what about a rack pull? Okay, but you're still doing a deadlift variation, so just stop.
Listen to me. You're not growing anymore, man.
People say, well, what about a rack?
Listen to me, man. You stopped growing when you were a kid. You're not growing anymore. In order to be in a growth state, anabolic growth state, protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. You need to be in positive nitrogen balance. If you are not, then you are not growing. You are doing the reverse. You're deteriorating. You're not regenerating.
Well, okay, but you're still doing a deadlift variation, so just stop. Everyone understand this? You're loading the spine with large amounts of weight. This is what builds bone density.
You're what? You're loading the spine with a lot of weight. That's what builds bone density. No, it doesn't. What builds bone density is protein and the building blocks, amino acids. And if you don't have sufficient amount of them and you lift, well, guess what? You're going to lose bone density even faster than you are building it.
Okay. Loading the spine, loading the femurs, loading the hips with...
Look, why do you think Blaha looks so aged? He looks so aged because he was breaking down more proteins than he can catch up with. That's why he looks the way he does, and it'll get worse. See what I mean? He doesn't lift that much. He's lifting not to the point where he's completely deteriorated like a factory worker, 10 hours a day in a factory and not eating anything or whatever, or eating whatever. But his slave food and this lifting is contributing to it.
Very large amounts of weight through your whole body, compressive stress. All right, that's going to build your bone density. That's how you stop osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is deadly.
No, it's not. Weights don't build anything.
And we need to be clear of that.
Lifting, anything you lift will deteriorate you on this planet. Man, if you work in a factory and you're lifting these things all day, you're going to deteriorate. If protein doesn't exceed that breakdown, dude, I'm telling you right now, if you're not positive nitrogen balance, you're just going to deteriorate. You get younger and more regenerative when you're in an anabolic growth state.
It's deadly. Loss of muscle tissue dramatically increases things like cancer and everything else. Just losing muscle.
No, it doesn't increase cancer because you've lost muscle tissue. You increase cancer and things because your body is taking on so much damage, DNA damage, like from toxic plants and weird foods you're eating, slave food diets. That's where it's all coming from, really. It's what you're consuming is causing that. It has nothing to do with loss of muscle is going to cause me to have cancer. Cool. I lost some contractile proteins, and guess what? Oh, according to Blaha science, I'm going to get cancer if I lose some fucking bone density or maybe some contractile proteins in my muscle. Yeah, okay.
Increases diabetes and particularly cancer rates.
Holy shit, if I lose my some contractile proteins, I'll eat on top of it, I'll get diabetes too. Oh my God. This is horrendous. So it's not from drinking sugar all day I won't get diabetes. It's because my muscles lost the contractile proteins. Get it? So it's not I got cancer because I was exposed to toxic food all the time, right? Consistently, and I finally hit the target. No, it's because I've lost contractile proteins in my muscle, and it magically gave me cancer. See what I mean? So you better keep lifting, slaves.
Dramatically, and we understand the mechanisms. Yeah. So being under muscle, being weak is a problem. Same thing, falling down and not being
under muscle, being weak is, that's a bad thing. So if you lose the muscle that you have, your contractile proteins within your muscle fibers that you already have, then you'll be weak. But Blaha says you're weak already. So are you weak? But then he says if you lose muscle, you'll get weak. So which is it, man? Which is it, dude?
Strong enough to pick yourself back up.
See, are you strong enough to pick yourself back up? Ask yourself, all of you, this question. Are you strong enough to pick yourself up? Can you open a door? Can you sit on a toilet seat? If you can do those things, then you're strong. Get it? You understand me? Yeah. Now, what is going to make you strong if you start getting weak? What will build up your muscle mass without lifting weights? Back to homeostasis. So if you lose muscle or bone density, right? Because you were deteriorating yourself, because you were in negative nitrogen balance, okay? So what do you need to do to bring it up? You need to be in positive nitrogen balance, and it will go back to what? Homeostasis. Get it? Look, dude, if you got there by doing that, sarcopenia, osteopenia, if what got you there, being in negative nitrogen balance, will get you back there by being in positive nitrogen balance. The opposite. Get it? So you don't need to lift weights.
And I think this applies to everything else in life too. So again, surviving accidents, surviving attacks. If you were physically strong,
surviving attacks. Who's attacking you, man? Lions or something? What are you talking about? Oh, I know. All those crazy people, the zombies that live in his town. They might attack you. The walking zombies there in, in Dallas.
Competent, you are harder to kill. Have you ever seen Ripto say that strong people are harder?
Oh, strong people are hard to kill. No, bigger people are harder to kill. Little people are easier to kill because bigger's always stronger.
Harder to kill. Okay? You're more likely to survive accidents, vehicle accidents. You're more likely to survive falls.
Yeah, bigger people are more likely to survive those things because they're bigger, they're stronger.
You're more likely to survive being physically assaulted by an assailant. Notice I didn't even have to bring self-defense or U.S. or anything about weapons.
Yeah, but Blaha's small. He's susceptible to getting beat up and accidents, dying in accidents, and a bunch of stuff because he's small and weak. That's why.
I didn't have to go there. Let's just say being beaten. More muscle.
Listen, man, just because you recruited some motor units doesn't mean you could go take on the world out there in the street, dude. You need to wake up, man. You're in La La Land.
More bone density, more strength, you're more likely to survive.
Yeah, if you have more muscle, more bone density, can definitely help. But there are people that are taller, bigger than you out there, get it? And stronger.
Okay? Being weak is dangerous. Being a victim.
Yeah, so how do you make yourself strong? Be in positive nitrogen balance and you'll be super strong. Get it? Yeah.
Dangerous. Falling down is dangerous. Being in car accidents are dangerous.
Yeah, but falling down in car accidents have nothing to do with lifting weights in the gym, bro. Get it? Recruiting motor units. How is that going to save you recruiting a motor unit and being in a car accident or falling down or whatever he's talking about?
Being strong and having both muscle mass and bone density and neural drive to push back against different things.
Okay.
Is protective. Like those, so being weak.
Yeah, neural drive and muscle, yeah, they're there. How do you preserve them? Being in positive nitrogen balance. Eat your natural carnivore diet as a carnivore animal. Don't eat slave food. It'll put you in negative nitrogen balance. And then you'll deteriorate, and then you'll suffer from sarcopenia.
Is dangerous.
It's dangerous, yeah.
Being weak is dangerous. The risk of getting hurt on properly programmed and executed squats and deadlifts is actually really, really low. Like, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. If you're getting hurt on deadlifts, you're doing something really dumb. Like, you're not paying attention at all to your technique. Okay? You're not paying attention to your technique at all if you're getting hurt on these things.
Yeah, see, your technique will save you from car accidents and shit, dude. That's what it's gonna do.
It's so easy to not get hurt. And even then, you can do other things to build support muscles. Like, if you're legitimately worried about bicep tears, when you're not locking the elbows, like, there should be your thing. Don't be loose at the bottom. Pull the slack out of the proper form. Generally prevents that. Okay, we'll do some tendon work, do some lat work, do some pull-ups, and some build.
Man, if you get a muscle tear, it's because you're weak. Your muscles are weak. They never went through a remodeling or nothing. There's no growth or remodeling there.
Tendon to be safer. You know, lower back, do some good mornings, do some reverse hypers then. Like, if this is a real concern. But let's be honest, most people aren't lifting those sort of weights. You're not. I mean, if you're only going to deadlift 405 or squat 315 as a man at any point in your life, I don't feel that those are realistic concerns. You're not lifting heavy enough that this is actually real worries. I get it if you're squatting 500, deadlifting 600.
Guys, you're not lifting heavy enough. Even though muscles are post-mitotic, they don't split and divide, increase and everything. You're not lifting heavy enough. And you don't need to lift heavy for sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, these phony muscles you're all building in the gym. Now, as far as myofibular growth, you have to damage the fiber. You don't have to lift heavy. You just have to lift enough to get them damaged. So when you come back bigger, you'll be stronger, and then you'll lift heavier, and you'll never get injured. Duh.
And you know, your form isn't perfect of being more concerned, but generally these overuse and other issues, if you're using even remotely good form, they're just not going to happen with those weights for grown men. So just stop. Just stop. And this is not.
Just stop, guys. Just stop, man.
Since people literally worried about getting hurt who are not lifting elite numbers. Okay, just clownery. You're more likely to get hurt on your car ride to the gym. And what's gonna be more likely to make you survive the car wreck in the gym? I don't know, being able to squat.
Oh, what's gonna save you from the car wreck coming to the gym? Oh, by squatting heavy weight. Okay.
Lift 500 pounds. Your body's
if you could squat 500 pounds, it'll save you in a car accident.
Be a lot more resilient to it.
Man, so that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Let me tell you something, man. If you're in a car accident or you get rammed by something, man, you're gonna die. Get it? If you have a weak body, it's filled with sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, or a small body, and you're most likely to die because you're weak. Get it? A bigger body is stronger than a small body. Yeah, it's just like that. And yeah, if you have more contractile proteins and more bone density, definitely can help. But Blaha's not building bone density because it comes with myofibular growth. I'll explain this, man. You are not growing anymore. Get it? So you need to furnish that ground to be in an anabolic growth state. And how you do that? When you're in positive nitrogen balance. So that's the only time you need to damage these fibers. But when the fibers get damaged, the bone gets damaged too, and the ligaments and tendons. They all grow in unison. They have to. That's what it's based on. That's what exercise-induced muscle damage training is based on. Get it? Yeah, dude. So they grow together, and then you become stronger. When you get bigger, you get stronger.
It's all ridiculous. People with good...
Yes, it's all ridiculous. Yes. People with good form will survive. People with good form will survive car accidents.
Form, good fatigue management, not using silly supportive equipment, not blasting tons of tren and anadrol.
Okay.
These things are pretty dang safe overall. But being weak is not.
Oh, yeah. Where they get injured. I'll see you in the next one, friends. Ciao.